Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. I justify it because I value only my own species.
Uh, I thought we went over this already.
I might have forgotten what you said.
You value your own species. Okay, so you think it's okay to grape dogs because they're a different species?
No, because I wouldn't grape my own species. I wouldn't do it.
Oh, okay. So it's wrong to grape dogs even though they're a different
Whoa,
species.
whoa, whoa. Okay, wait. Did you say it's wrong or would I?
Look, your entire argument is, by the way, akin to racism. Speciesism is no different than racism because you're judging somebody based on their species, just like you judge somebody based on their race. So it's just as bad. But furthermore, species, if you're going to say that, well, we get to harm animals and eat them because they're different species, well, okay, does that mean we can go ahead and grape dogs because they're a different species than we? Yes or no?
I would say no, it's not okay to do that.
Okay. So you do value dogs to a degree, not a sufficient enough degree to not want to harm them.
I value them to a degree, but not enough to the same level I put humans at.
I agree with you, sir. I don't value dogs as much as humans, but there is a sufficient value there that says we shouldn't abuse them. Do you agree?
Yeah, yeah, we shouldn't.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm vegan.
I'm gonna get you. I'll be back.
Guess who's back?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So what do you think the animal's life is?
You're cutting out. I can't hear you. Say it again.
What do you think the purpose of an animal's life is?
Purpose is subjective, right? The purpose of my life is to have fun. I can't imagine it's different for the animals to have fun, to live, to be peaceful. The animals don't want to die.
Okay, but their main purpose is to eat and reproduce, right?
So is ours. We also eat and reproduce and sleep and shit.
Okay, but like let's take chickens for example. They're like the most populated bird of all birds. Yet we eat them and they have a symbiotic relationship because they breed more chickens and they pass on more DNA than any other bird on the world. So they
That's
have a
our conclusion,
symbiotic.
sir. They only breed more because we force them to be bred. Do you understand that we breed billions of chickens, literally 70 billion chickens per year around the world? That's our fault. That's not the chicken's fault. Secondly, just because you think that animals don't have purpose or that their purpose is insignificant doesn't mean we ought to kill them.
Well, not insignificant. Well, I no, but like their main purpose is to pass down their DNA and reproduce. Like
Who
that's
said that?
their
Who said that's their purpose?
because that's what they do. That's what they're born to do.
How do you know that they're born to do that? You don't know that. That's just your opinion.
Well, that's their animalistic like nature, you know?
Do you know that we're animals?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you think that our only purpose is to reproduce?
Well, from a larger standpoint, like a bird's eye view, yeah.
Really? You think our only purpose is to reproduce?
From like a society standpoint, like if the population collapsed, that would be terrible.
Okay. I agree. But that doesn't mean that our only purpose is to reproduce. Look, the point is that you don't have a justification for harming animals and killing them. You can't justify eating them. Can you do it?
Well, I was just making the point that um, if we eat a certain animal, there's going to be more of them in the world, like chickens.
Okay. Do you understand how we produce chickens?
It's probably screwed up, but
Yeah, we force them to breed, then we force them to lay eggs, right?
that's more of a like that's more of a
That's our fault. We want to stop that. So why are you for killing more chickens? Why?
well because we eat them.
I know you eat them, but you don't have to do that, and you're causing more harm by doing that. What justifies causing all this harm to the animals? Do you know how much harm you're causing to the animals? Do you know that your actions cause harm and death?
Well, I mean, is there an ethical way to kill and eat any animal?
No, that's why I'm vegan.
So, in a hypothetical situation, you're out in the woods, you have nothing to eat except to kill like a deer, right? You
We're
wouldn't be
not in
for
the
that.
woods there. We are not in the woods right now. I'm talking about in general. Why, when you have other options, do you consume animals for no reason? Why do you harm and abuse animals when you don't have to?
Well, why do you abuse plants?
Ugh. Plants aren't sentient. Do you know what
Do you
sentience?
hold a panpsychist view?
Yeah. Do you know what sentience means?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know that plants are not sentient? They don't feel pain. Do you understand?
Well, I could have sworn I read a study that um, trees and plants they talk to each other when like humans are around.
So does my cell phone. My phone communicates with other phones, but it doesn't make them sentient.
But they're living things.
That does not mean they're sentient. Sentience is a particular set of. Oh, did he go? Sentience is a particular feature of a being who has emotions, thoughts, and can feel. And plants don't have any capacity for those things. They don't have brains or nervous systems.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hi.
Yeah. So, all around the world, from far east to far west, far south, far north, everywhere, all societies, developed, non-developed, agriculture, all stages, they all eat animals.
Congratulations. So, what justifies harming and abusing them?
It's part of nature that people eat animals, animals eat
It's
other
also-
animals.
It's also part of nature that people grape each other. It's also part of nature that animals grape each other. Should we grape each other because in nature it happens?
No, but
Okay.
try
then
to understand me.
This is an appeal
We-
to nature fallacy. This is an appeal to nature fallacy.
We cannot eliminate the suffering in the world. Even
I never
animals
said we
eat
could.
other animals.
Look,
Even animals eat
look.
each other.
What do you think it means to be vegan?
I just heard you. You want us to stop eating animals, right?
Well, that's not what it means to be vegan. What it means to be vegan is to reduce and minimize harm and exploitation to the animals and minimize rights violations. So again, it doesn't mean we're perfect. It doesn't mean that we want to stop or eliminate all death. We want to reduce it. For some reason, you want to maximize death. What
No,
justifies
I don't.
killing and
No, I
eating?
don't.
So then what justifies killing and eating them? Why do you do it?
What justifies eating and killing animals or unaliving animals is the fact that the world is a brutal place, and it is one of the basic things that we do for survival.
We
Eating
don't.
fish.
No, we don't. That is false. We don't
Eating
have to,
fish,
no,
for
no,
example?
No, sir. We don't have to consume animals for survival at all.
How
Second,
long have humans been
it
conceding
doesn't
fish?
matter. It doesn't matter. We don't have to do it today at all. What justifies doing it today? And if you're gonna say, well,
Oh, I'm sure people in parts of the world have to use animals.
we're not
for
talking about people in parts of the world who don't have access to plant-based. We're talking about you. What justifies slaughtering animals to you? Why do you cause so much harm?
It's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is, dude.
That's okay. So if I went to go ahead and grape somebody, Would that be okay? Because it's just the way it is. That's just the way nature is.
No.
Then that's a bad
We made
justification.
laws. We made laws against that.
Okay, we're not talking about laws, right? We're talking about ethics. Ethically speaking, your justification is, well, that's how it is, Mike. That's just what we do. If I were to say this and use the same justification for rape or murder, you would never think that's okay, right?
It's part of human nature that things dominate others. We get animals, we put them in zoos, we go and watch them. You know,
But
we put
I'm
them in
asking
prisons,
you,
right?
why do we continue
Look.
doing it if it's not required? Do you understand that these things cause harm and suffering to them?
I understand and I agree with you on that.
Okay, so if you know it causes harm, why do you continue doing it for no good
Because
reason?
it's not a perfect world. If I designed the world, I
doesn't
wouldn't
justify
design it.
doing it, sir. Again, you're using.
Okay, what about the zoos? Okay, say we stop eating them.
Please, sir, you're not listening. Stay on track. Your entire reasoning for killing others and harming others is that's just the way it is. But it doesn't have to be that way anymore. That's the point. I'm asking you.
Okay, how many
have the
insects do you
option.
analyze a day? How many insects? Like if there's a bee or a fly or
I
a
don't
spider in
don't
your
understand.
car?
I don't know how many insects I kill a day, if that's even a thing. I don't kill insects. But
There was a spider in my car earlier. I had to take care of it.
Congratulations. Now, can you get back on topic? What justifies slaughtering and abusing animals that you don't have to?
I can't win this argument, dude. I can't win.
Oh, I know
People,
you
I have an
can.
F
I know
in
you
this
can.
debate. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you that we shouldn't, we should minimize harm.
No. You
But
don't
I'm
agree.
just observing.
No. You don't agree with me that we should reduce harm because you're causing harm. Stop saying, yeah, Mike, you're right. You vegan good. Don't do that.
Yeah, you are
Because you're being
speaking from a
dishonest.
higher ethical stance. I agree.
No.
It's just I'm more of a
It's
realist.
Not higher. It's not higher. Guarantee you actually agree with me. I'm not being higher than you. I'm simply suggesting that maybe what you're doing is malinformed, it is wrong, and it is, by your own standards, wrong.
You're an optimist. I'm a realist. That's our
No,
difference.
I'm a realist too, sir. I don't have to be optimistic to be vegan. Now, explain to me why you slaughter and abuse animals so you don't have to be harmed.
I personally don't. I've never actually slaughtered any animal.
But you pay for it, right?
I do find them in the shops everywhere.
Sir, you have to just chillax and hold on. You pay for them to be harmed, correct?
I only paid for them once they were already unalived and in the shop.
Right, but that's paying for those farmers to kill those animals is causing a demand for more animals to die. So there's a supply and demand effect happening in which more and more animals, by your own decisions, are being killed. You understand how that works economically?
So what change would it make if I stopped buying it? Nothing. It would do nothing.
You would reduce the amount of animals that die and suffer.
How?
Because you
What?
would not be contributing to this cycle of chaos where we torture and farm animals.
They would still make the same amount. The shop would
Nope.
still make the same
Nope,
order.
that is not true, sir. If Apple stopped making iPhones tomorrow, if people stopped buying iPhones tomorrow, would Apple continue making them?
We are two people here, Mike. It's me and you.
Sir, I'm asking you a hypothetical. If tomorrow,
Yeah. If all people
tomorrow-
start buying Apple, yeah.
You agree. So if tomorrow everybody stopped buying iPhones, Apple would not make any more. If tomorrow 20% of people stop buying iPhones, they wouldn't continue making the amount of iPhones they do today. They would reduce the amount of phones they make. Do you agree?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Okay, great. So every time you stop consuming and contributing to animal products being produced, you reduce the amount of supply, correct?
If everybody did it, yes, but not if one person do
even
it,
if
Mike.
you did it, even if you as a one person do it, you're still reducing it by hundreds.
No,
per
it makes no change. It absolutely in the town
It
that I
does
live
make
in.
sense, sir, and there's
I'm
plenty of
pretty
research to back
certain,
this up.
Mike. You
Okay.
gotta listen to me, dude.
No, give
in
me a
the
source.
town that I
Give me a
live in.
source for your claim. Give me a source that going vegan does nothing. Go ahead.
No, it's simple. It's just simple logic. Look, in the town that I live in, if I don't go to the shop or buy the meat in the shop, the shop would still do its thing. The people in the town would still buy the meat.
Still not
You know,
You're still
I
not getting
wouldn't.
it. You're still not
Me
understanding, sir. I understand if
me
tomorrow
stopping wouldn't make any difference.
it does if you would just let me speak and talk. I already told you this, but you didn't listen.
All right,
So
go
I
ahead.
have to do it again, okay? I understand in your little place, in your little town, you're gonna go to the shop and you're gonna buy and you're not gonna buy meat anymore, but the shop is still gonna be there. I understand that, sir. But on the individual level, you're still contributing to less animals being harmed. Think of all the animals you buy per year. That's hundreds of animals die per year for one person. Okay? That's not including all the crop deaths that occur, all those crop animals that die in crop fields. So you're, as one vegan, saving perhaps thousands of animals per year, let alone all the environmental benefits. And I agree with you that if we're not all going to go vegan tomorrow, but that's not what we're debating today. What we're debating is why you don't go vegan. And if your only excuse is, well, we're not all going to fix it, well, then the same could be said for grape and murder. No, the whole world isn't going to stop graping tomorrow, so let's just continue graping.
I don't know how those two are similar, dude.
Ridiculous
I
justification.
don't know how those two things are similar. Grape and eating a fish.
Did I say
you know.
they were? No, I didn't say they were. I
You're
said
kind of comparing them.
I'm comparing the justifications, not the actions.
Yeah. Grape is not necessary, and we make laws against it. Eating fish and all of that.
I don't
it
understand
kind
why.
of
I don't
is.
understand why you can't track. I'm comparing the justifications, not the actions. So stop comparing grape to eating animals. What I'm comparing are the justifications that you're giving me, which is, oh, I can't stop at all. Right? That's
Yeah, and that is true.
okay.
It is true that if I stop going to the shop or buying the meat from the shop, they will still make the same order tomorrow and next week and next month.
Oh my gosh.
And so on.
Oh my gosh. Why do you
Do you disagree with that? Do you disagree with that? Do you disagree with what I just said?
Why do you continue doing this? Why do you not listen to what I'm telling you? Why does it go through one ear and
Disagree.
out the other?
Do you disagree?
Guys, I understand where you're coming from as a non-vegan. You're anxious. Whenever you see a vegan, you get anxious, right? Oh, we did it, we're down here. Right? I understand that your blood pressure raises when you see a vegan, but just listen. I understand that tomorrow the shop is going to be there. I know that. But the problem is the amount of harm would be reduced if you were to go vegan, individually speaking. And yes, it's not that much, relatively speaking, to the rest of the world, but it's still something. And it should be in alignment with your ethics. There are plenty of things we do. Like we don't grape, we don't murder, yet that's not helping too much, relatively speaking, to the rest of the world. One murder isn't much saving in the grand scheme of things, but we still don't murder. See how that works? It doesn't matter how impactful your actions are. What matters is, do you adhere to your values? I do. Why don't you? Right? And that's all I'm trying to gauge here. I can't fix the world. I can't be Mother Teresa or Father Teresa. I can't do that.
Hey, Mike, how are you? Just a heads up, in case it's harder to understand with my accent, just say, hey, Riley, it's hard to understand, and I'll just elaborate on what I'm saying.
Okay.
For me personally, I did try a vegan-based diet for nearly 2 months because I was sick for 6, 7, 8 weeks, like vomiting, nausea every morning. And for me, a plant-based diet didn't give me the enough nutrition that I needed, or enough protein mainly, to build on healthy weight again. So I know as well from research that I've done that you can live off a plant-based diet. It is like we humans have done it for quite a while. So I understand that viewpoint of things as well, but mainly like unrealistically, like economically, if you were to get rid of the meat industry tomorrow, it would cause.
Please stop. You're yapping, unfortunately. And look, you said you were a vegan. You were not a vegan. You went on a plant-based diet and you did it wrong, because there's plenty of protein in things like tofu, tempeh, beans, pastas. You can get plenty of protein there. That's laughable to say that you didn't get enough protein. Secondly, I'm looking for justifications on your end that justifies continuously harming and abusing animals like you do. Do you have that?
Well, don't you like? For me, I don't agree with factory farming. I think that's disgusting and horrific. But I do believe there are, there are justifiable ways of, having a farm with animals and using them to create food out of.
Why? Why do you think it's okay to tie someone up or stuff them in a crate and take their body parts from them without their consent? Why is that okay?
Well, if we have certain specific examples, if the animal may be like injured or is unhealthy, for example, it is sometimes better to take them out, to unalive, to give them peace if they're in pain.
That's not what I'm saying. I understand euthanization is required in some circumstances.
Okay.
That we're not talking about euthanization. We're talking about chickens and pigs and cows who you stuff into crates and oftentimes gas chambers where they die and are slaughtered for no reason. Why do you contribute to that?
Well, for me, based off the diets that I've had, for me, I need to live off a meat-based diet. For me, like my sister, she's vegan as well. So I was able to, she's been vegan for many, many years. So I was able to get on a diet and she put me on that plant-based diet, things like that for nearly 2 months. And I worked with it and I actually started to lose weight. And at that stage, I could not.
Okay, can you now explain to me what justifies slaughtering animals that don't have to be slaughtered?
Well, for me, I believe that in certain justifications and in certain people's diets, because everyone's bodies are very different. There's so many variables that we can't always account for. So because of that, I think in particular circumstances, it is okay to eat meat. It is okay to have a meat-based diet.
Are you saying that there's not enough nutrition in plant-based diets? Is that your concern?
No, I'm not ignoring that. No, because I've done my research on that. You can live off a plant-based diet.
So you agree that you can be healthy? You yourself can be healthy as a vegan. Do you agree?
From what I've tried, it doesn't work for my body. No.
Okay. Have you consulted with a plant-based nutritionist?
No, I haven't. Oh, actually, no. I've been thinking of doing that through Facebook, actually.
Yeah, that's something I would recommend you do before you just start, killing animals again. Talk to experts about it. Maybe actually jot down what you're consuming and take it to a nutritionist who can tell you if you're missing something, right? That's the goal. The goal is to be responsible here. Now, I think that you're courageous enough to be up here and question things, which is great. But you got to take the effort to talk to experts first, because this is serious. I mean, you're harming animals who don't have to be. So, yeah, thank you.
Okay, I appreciate that, Mark. Have a good night.
Yo, hello.
Hi.
Hey. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry. All right, I'm ready. Okay, so I can justify eating cows. Okay, all right. So one cow feeds one person like a lot of meat, Okay, and all cows do is stand around. I think that's a pretty good trade-off.
Okay, so you're saying if there is a big cow, you get to kill it because it feeds people. Is this what you're saying?
No, a lot. It has a lot of meat though for one life.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to eat big dogs who are fat because they feed people?
I'd say that's a false equivalence fallacy. I mean, I'm not. No, sure.
Okay.
You could say sure, but I'm telling you, it's more eat a cow because we could do more
What?
things, other beneficial things with
Okay,
dogs.
so if there was a dog who is just as big as the big cow you're talking about, would it be okay to kill that dog because it would feed people? Would that be okay? They kill dogs.
Yep.
Really? Okay. So so
Yeah.
your logic is if this animal feeds people and it's big, you get to kill it. And correct?
It depends. It's how long they feed you. Like one cow could feed like a whole family for a year.
So this dog could feed me for a month. So you'd kill it. Oh, yeah?
Sure.
Okay. What if there's a person who is fat and obese and they could feed me for months? Would it be okay to eat that person?
No, because we're both the same species and we're both have similar lives.
Okay.
Dude,
So the
no,
only diff-
that's
so the
false.
only
Another false.
difference-
Hold on. Wait, real
the only
quick.
difference
This is another
is
false equivalence.
What's the difference?
Hold on. That's
What's
another
the
false
morally
equivalence.
relevant difference between those dogs and that person?
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's another false equivalence fallacy, because a fat person doesn't just stand around in grass all day. Cows just stand around in grass.
Oh, this obese person is disabled. That's all they do. They sit around and they eat food all day. That's all they do. Would it be okay to kill that person?
No, because there are not many disabled people in comparison to how many cows there are. Every cow just stands around.
Whoa, sir. We're talking about on the individual level. If there was a person who was disabled who was obese, would it be okay to eat them when they're exactly the same, they're trait equalized to the cow?
No.
Okay, so what's the morally relevant difference? If you can't point out a difference between the person and the cow or the dog, morally speaking, then you have a contradiction. What's the difference morally between the person and the cow that justifies killing the cow but not the person?
I am a person and that other person is a person. And the animal is not a person.
So the only difference is species that justifies killing the cow but not the person. It's the species.
Well, there are a lot of cows, and hey, hold on. And cows don't live as long as humans.
Look, I can equalize all the traits you want me. You can continuously give me traits. I can equalize every single one, right? You give me a cow that eats grass all day. I can give you the same hypothetical situation of a person who does that. You say a cow that doesn't live very long. I can give you the equivalent person that has that same trait. However, when it comes to species, that's something we can't do. The problem is when it comes to species, this is equivalent. This is, in my view, akin to racism. Species, oh, they're different species, so therefore we get to kill them because of something merely genetic, right? It's just like akin to racism. Oh, they're this race or they're this color, therefore we get to do this harmful thing to them. I think that's just like racism. But secondly, are you telling me that if tomorrow we found out that obese person wasn't a human or Homo sapien, but they were a Homo, Japien or something, a different species than us, you would think it's okay to kill that person who looks just like me, but is a different species. Are you saying that?
No. Because they could do approximately everything the same as us.
So then it's not species. So then you have just contradicted yourself, right? By saying, oh, it's the species and not a species that justifies killing animals. You can't hold two countering positions at the same time.
Okay, fair enough. You win. I'm gonna head out.
Okay, well, thank you for being honest. Speciesism is...
Alright, I'm not being fucking funny, but you can go and fuck yourself, you fucking fat little cunt. Go
God said we can eat meat. Okay, so if God came down tomorrow and said, go ahead, eat people, you would do it? Whatever God says is good, right? So if God comes down and says, you must eat this man, you would do it? No, of course not. That's crazy. That's absurd. Yeah, let alone the fact that God ain't real. Keep tapping and keep commenting. Hello?
Hello? Yeah. Did you hear me?
No.
I said, can I suck your balls? Love you, Mike.
Guys are gross. I'm so embarrassed to be a guy. Okay. God, John babies, exactly.
I love chicken wings.
How old are you? How old are you? Okay. I love vegan chicken wings too. They're great. Vegan chicken wings are fantastic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 18, 2006. So I used to be vegan, but I think what convinced me is that I don't think that on an individual level, me being vegan actually influences anything. Like on the broad level, if everyone goes vegan, that would reduce the animal cruelty, but on the individual level, it really won't.
Do you think that do you murder anybody?
No.
Do you think that impacts the world in any significant way? If you
No,
just okay.
what I'm saying is that
So if you don't think that murder does anything impactful, why do you think why do you not murder anybody? Right? Your justification is a bad one for not being vegan.
No, I'm saying that me eating meat doesn't actually have any effect and doesn't save any animals' lives. I care about animals' lives, but I don't think that veganism actually contributes to it on the individual level.
What? You don't think that saving animal lives is saving animals' lives? That makes no sense.
No, I don't think
If you don't look, do you understand? One vegan saves about a couple hundred animals per year in terms of like pigs and chickens and cows, let alone all the other potential deaths that come across that come entailed with crop deaths. But the point is that you're still saving hundreds of animals. Isn't that better than not doing that?
Yeah, it is. I just don't reject the premise.
So then by your own concession, veganism is a better thing because it's helping more animals than not.
I'm not even saying this. I'm not just saying this. I was vegan. If you show me that being vegan actually just one person being vegan saves cows, even one cow's life, I'll go vegan right now. Just send me a link to anything.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I'm saying one person going vegan is
You don't think not eating cows saves the cows directly?
I think if everyone stopped eating cows, then that would prevent cows from being slaughtered. But I don't think one person stop eating cows would prevent cows from being slaughtered. Do you understand the difference?
Yeah, I think I think this is a ridiculous thing, right? Because this is like saying, oh well, show me empirical evidence that withholding from murder someone is saving someone's life, right? No, you are saving somebody's life by not murdering them because they would have died if you would have eaten them or killed or eaten and did that to them.
No, because I'm not the one who's slaughtering the animal. It's just someone else who's going to do it regardless.
You're paying for it, right? You're paying for that.
The animal is going to die regardless. With how much?
No, because we breed them into existence in the first place, and then we kill them. That is directly our faults because of purchasers, because of individual consumers who purchase and eat the animal. That's our fault as consumers.
I think that it's the fault of the many, many people who do it, but I don't think one person. Once again, one person just.
Okay, so you think 1,000 people would save cows, but you don't think 100 people would?
Maybe 100 people, but definitely.
How about
not.
10 people? How about would 10 people
Probably
save cows?
not. Probably not 10 people. No.
So you think 10 people not eating cows? So let's say they're right now meat eaters. There's 10 people that are meat eaters currently, who consume about 2 cows per year each. So that's 20 cows that they're saving per year. Do you agree that that's the right math? If they were to go
One, no, because I don't think that one hamburger is one cow. I think like one cow is like 10 hamburgers. I don't know.
Yeah, look, the point is that they consume the equivalent of 1 cow per year. This is standard.
Sure, but even then, I think that we produce so much waste that I think that even if we just stopped eating cow, that even if those 10 people stopped eating cows, the meat that was produced would just go to waste instead of being. What was I gonna say? Instead
Why
of.
would it go to waste? That makes no sense.
I think. What do you mean? We waste so much food. We don't.
It wouldn't be produced. Look, every consumer who stops buying products lowers the supply and demand for that product, lowers the supply of it. Okay, this is basic economics.
It's when lots and lots of people. Just so you know, I'd support like laws making. If there were laws to make everyone vegan, I'd be okay with that. But I don't think.
What?
What? I care about animals. I just don't think that me specifically going vegan.
Oh my God! Do you understand that when you go to the store and you purchase meat, that causes a direct supply of more animals to be killed for you? Do you understand that?
No, I think if I didn't buy that meat, I think that it would just go to waste. I don't think that that cow would.
No. I'm not talking immediately speaking. Of course, you're right, immediately speaking. But the problem is that continuous action of consuming animal products is causing animals to die directly because you're paying those factories to kill more animals for you. Do you understand that? That's economics.
I get that on the macro level, but I don't think me specifically.
It happens on the individual level. It happens on the individual level too. If I were to go to the store, if I'm a meat eater and I'm buying the equivalent of a cow per year, if I stop doing that, you're gonna save a cow. It's simple math.
No, because I think we're just gonna kill that cow anyways, and we're just gonna waste it for something.
No, they're not going to kill the cow anyways. The supply totally is going to decrease, albeit small. It won't be a large decrease, but it's still a decrease. That's the point. And by the way, we don't need many vegans for change to occur. Even 10% of the population going vegan will make a tremendous impact.
Oh,
I agree with that. As it already is. No, you don't. Don't
Yes,
tell
I
me. No, you don't agree with that. Stop saying this. You don't agree. I just explained to you how, individually speaking, it does help. And even a small percentage of the population going vegan, we have seen tremendous changes in places like the franchises, the popular franchises like McDonald's and Burger King and all these Chipotle. They're coming out with vegan options. That also propels the movement forward and causes more and more people to go vegan, which then causes less animals to die. We're also seeing the destruction of the dairy industry. A lot of people are moving on to plant-based milks. This didn't take 1 billion people to go vegan. It took only 2-3% of the population. So don't tell me that individuals don't have an impact. We do, especially if you're an activist who is speaking to other people. So don't tell me that, I don't think I'm doing anything. If everybody were to do what you're doing, there would be way more death, way more cruelty in the world. We can't. You have to unmute yourself. And by the way, here's a great study on this, showing you that individuals do have an impact. It's called Against Inefficacy Objections: The Real Economic Impact of Individual Consumer Choices on Animal Agriculture.
Sorry, could you say that one more time?
Yeah, the study is called Against Inefficacy Objections: The Real Economic Impact of Individual Consumer Choices on Animal Agriculture. This is a study in the Food Ethics Journal, and it shows you that individuals do have an impact, a significant impact on animal agriculture, and the things I've just described to you.
I'm so sorry. Against inefficacy, the individual.
Against inefficacy objections: the real economic impact of individual consumer choices on animal agriculture.
Yeah, I'll check this out later, and then.
Yeah, check it out, and it'll convince you that you're wrong.
Okay.
Because you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye. How do I leave?
There you go. I gave you your study that you wanted.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not vegan because, what my family does, we kill like 2 deer, and basically like the 2 deer last us for like months and months, and it saves us basically, like thousands of dollars in, groceries and stuff of that sort. So I don't, that's enough reason. I think that's a justification.
Yeah, I highly fucking doubt that you only eat 1 deer. What is it? You said 2 deer?
Yeah, about 2 deer every 6 months.
Your entire family only eats 2 deer every 6 months.
I mean, we also fish, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So you also fish.
Yeah, it also.
That takes resources. Fishing rods, you need the bait, all that stuff. That takes resources too. Plus the gun ammo, all that stuff. Driving their gas to get to those lands where you hunt. Do you drink anything or just deer shit?
I drink water.
Okay, drink water. Okay. You don't drink any other beverages, just water?
Maybe like Diet Pop or like Diet Coke, but that's about it.
Okay, so you consume sodas. Okay. Do you eat any vegetables, or do you just eat deer shit?
I mean, I do eat some vegetables and fruit, but like.
Oh, okay. So you do. Oh, so it turns out you don't just eat 2 deer per year. Okay. That's what I thought. But besides all that, there's a more fundamental concern, and that's an ethical concern, which my values, for example, I want to adhere to my values. And there's a threshold in which the consequences of my actions are bad enough that, look, I'll stick to my values. Even though it's not that bad, I'll still stick to my values. And that's how I see veganism, right?
Yeah, so.
There are things out there that I can't control. There are things out there that wouldn't make that much of a difference, but I still do it because I want to adhere to my values. And that value is, hey, let's not harm anybody. Let's not harm others who don't have to be harmed. Let's not take away their rights to live and be happy. So even 1 deer would be wrong to me as a vegan. Even 1 deer who could feed me for 6 months would still be wrong to me as a vegan, because you're taking the rights away, and that's wrong to me. And that's a value I hold, I adhere to so strictly.
Yeah. So can I?
Because that's what veganism means.
Yeah. So can I respond?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying, if this is gonna save me and my family, thousands of dollars in expenses regarding groceries per year, and in this economical climate, it's a bit hard. So I'm just saying, if this saves us even a couple $1,000s a year, I think it's going to be worth. I think it's worth it.
Look, if you actually were to total all the costs of fishing and hunting and doing all that stuff you're doing, I highly doubt you're actually saving anything.
Oh, we're saving. Yeah, I mean,
how do you know that? Have you compared the cost of tofu, which is like $2 a bag, versus like the gun ammo you buy and the fishing rods you buy and the fishing bait you buy? Have you compared all these costs and totaled them?
I mean, not like extensively, but
Then that's what you should be doing. If you're that concerned about what maybe a few $100s a year, I mean,
thousands.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know how much you're spending.
Listen, Mike, we
You
are
don't know how much you're saving.
the wallet of my family is the indicator of that. When we have gone to this diet,
I understand, and there are plenty of vegans who are homeless. Actually, in fact, most vegan. I'm not rich at all. I live below my means, and I'm still vegan. There are ways to do it without spending so much money. There are ways to make very cheap vegan meals. I think you're just being a bit irresponsible. What you should be doing next time is come back with me with a total list of everything you buy and all the costs associated with hunting and all that stuff. Then I could say, hey, maybe the costs are comparable. Maybe you're saving a lot of money that you could be using. But I highly doubt that. I'm very skeptical that you're actually saving money. Furthermore, it would be a rights violation to me and an ethical dilemma if I were to hunt.
yeah. So if I did do like a cost benefit like analysis, and I did find out that we're saving, 5,000 or whatever, a mass amount of money per year with the hunting, would you say then I have, some justified reason or no?
No,
Why
not necessarily, because there are other ways there's EBTs, there's governmental help that you can get.
Yeah, I mean, we don't like qualify for, these government programs.
Oh, you don't qualify for government programs.
I mean, yeah, living off the government's not, that's not something that's, I'm not all about that. I'm just saying. So, but it's not justified, even if I did save me $10,000 a year.
I doubt that you wouldn't qualify. I mean, if you can't afford groceries, why would you qualify for government assistance?
No, it's not that, we couldn't afford groceries. It's that it saves us thousands of dollars a year.
What I would say is take a look at all your options. And if at the end of the day, your only option is to hunt the deer, would it be justified? Perhaps. But that wouldn't make you vegan. That wouldn't make you... that would still be an ethical dilemma to me, and that's why that's what I would say. But you're one in a million situations, right?
No, I mean, I know tons of people around my community who do the same thing. We got a lake right by us.
I don't think you're actually in that situation. I don't think it's actually that bad. I think you actually would be better off vegan, but that's besides the point. You haven't provided any evidence for me to think you're correct.
Yeah, but would our wallets be better off vegan?
Absolutely. Vegan diets would actually save us tons of money.
Do you see how much plant-based meat costs?
On a global level and on an individual level.
Wait, do you see how much plant-based meat costs though? Like, I mean, that's insane. Like Beyond Meat and that type of crap.
That's not what vegan diets necessitate.
I mean, I'm not just trying to eat, lettuce. That's not ideal for me.
Oh, now I understand what you're doing. You don't actually understand what vegan diets mean. Oh. You just think it's lettuce and Beyond Meat burgers. Oh, okay. So you haven't understood that you can get whole plant foods, right? Like rice, beans, pastas, tofu, which are way cheaper. These are staple foods that are actually very inexpensive. You haven't taken a look at all your options. You haven't done that, and it's obvious to all of us here. So that's what you ought to do. I'm not saying that I'm not saying you're bad. What I'm saying is you ought to be more responsible by learning more, educating yourself more, learning about how you could be vegan potentially, and doing a cost benefit analysis on your budget. That's all.
Yeah. So what about protein? Like, how am I supposed to get 200 grams of protein on a vegan diet? Is that feasible?
Absolutely feasible.
200 grams.
Yes, 400 grams. Heck, 600 grams.
Yeah, how many calories am I have to eat though for that?
Comparable to meat diets. There are protein shakes that are vegan.
Mike, that's insane.
There are vegan bodybuilders who get 400 grams of protein. Email Delgado, right?
All supplements, bro. I'm not trying to supplement 200 grams of protein. That's insane.
Okay, well then, first of all, you don't need 200 grams per day. That's nonsense. But getting 200 grams could be done by getting tofu, beans, pastas, a ton of it. That's it.
Yeah, you'd have to eat like 5,000 calories though to get up to 200 grams of any of that stuff.
Same would apply to eating a meat-based diet. You'd have to still get 4,000 calories.
No, I mean, if you eat chicken breast, is about 100 calories and 20 grams of protein. I mean, that's a 5-to-1 ratio.
No, it's not 100 grams of protein in one chicken breast. That's nonsense.
No. Like given a certain sample size.
There are plenty of plant-based foods like lentils, black beans, quinoa, tofu, all which are protein dense and very comparable to a meat-based product. Like I just mentioned, beans, tofus, and then you always have the protein shakes that are vegan as well. If you really need so much protein, which you don't.
Yeah. So I mean, does any of that stuff have a 5-to-1 calorie to protein ratio or no? I mean, because that's
you can get protein shakes with that much, yes. But
via natural means. Like
I would say lentils are very close to that. Yes. Tofu is close to that too.
200 calories of lentils is like 10 grams of protein. That's not even close.
Oh, now you're going to be dishonest.
I mean, you can look it up. I've Googled it before.
Yeah, 1 cup of lentils is about 17 grams or 18 grams.
How many calories?
A bit more.
How many calories?
I am not sure how many calories.
400.
If you're looking for protein, then you're after protein, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying, a reasonable calorie to protein ratio.
So then you still get plenty of protein as a vegan. I don't see any reason why you couldn't.
I mean, yeah, you can. You have to eat, a shitload of calories, though. I mean, that's the issue with the vegan diet.
It's not an issue at all. It's not an issue, first of all, because it's not the case that you have to eat so much. Again, you haven't done your research. You just want to come up here and complain. Go, if you really were curious about veganism, you would go look at vegan bodybuilders. Look at what they're consuming. Go dive into the actual data.
Yeah, I mean, I have.
Okay, great. So tell me, what are the vegan bodybuilders consuming?
Yeah, it's all supplements. That's all they're having.
Well, that's
protein
nonsense.
shakes, protein bars.
That's nonsense. It's all supplements. You don't know what they're eating. You haven't done the research. You haven't actually learned what they're consuming. You haven't actually learned their meals. You haven't. So
I mean, yeah, they also eat a lot of soy, which is terrible.
Soy is not terrible, sir. Soy is extremely healthy for you.
Yeah, I mean, do you have like a source?
There is no evidence that soy is bad for you, and there's plenty of evidence, yes, that soy is perfectly healthy. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, their position is that vegan diets are suitable for all stages of life.
Yeah, soy farming causes more animal death than factory farming.
Oh, how much soy is for human consumption? How much soy do we grow for humans? Can you tell me?
That's not relevant to my point.
Oh, it is relevant, right? Because what percent of soy is grown for humans? It's about 9, 7, 8%. Okay. Most of the soy we grow is actually grown for the animals that you consume and abuse, right? The animals that you consume and kill are actually fed soy grain products. And, that's why most of the crops are being destroyed. Most of the trees are being destroyed for meat eaters, not vegans. So you kill way more animals than we'll ever kill.
Oh, I mean, you didn't dispute my claim, though, that the soy farming does, in fact, kill, whether that is for the animals or not, it does kill more animals. I mean, that's a fact.
What do you mean? How do you know it? What do you mean it kills more animals than what?
Than like factory farming itself.
No, sir.
Yeah,
how many animals die how many cows and pigs and chicken die?
I don't know. I don't really care either, to be honest with you.
It's about 90 billion.
It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 90 billion. I don't really care.
It's about 90 billion. And you should care because that's what you're contributing to.
You care about a cow? What's cool about a cow?
I care about a cow enough to not want to abuse it.
The cow has no value, Mike. Come on.
Okay. So why does a cow have no value, but a human baby does?
It's a fucking cow, Mike. I mean, this is a common sense question. I'm not going to...
Sir, does a human baby have value?
Absolutely. But, a cow is just a cow. So.
Okay. So what can a human baby do that a cow cannot, that gives the human baby value over the cow?
because it's a cow. That's why.
I'm sorry, sir. You're not going to be speciesist here.
Bro, I mean, you can't compare a baby to a
Okay.
cow. Like,
I'm
I mean, this is
asking you
insane.
why doesn't a cow have any value? But a
Because
baby,
it's a cow. It's food.
why does it mean it has no value?
It's food, bro. That's why. It's not a baby.
So can a human baby be food?
We don't eat babies as food.
Why not? Why don't we eat babies? But
Yeah, because we don't. Because we value babies, excuse me, more than cows.
Why? Why do we value babies but not cows?
We just do.
I'm asking you why.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I value a baby more than a cow, though. So
Okay, so why? If you can't answer this question, then I'm sorry, sir, but go. You're not
I mean,
going to
I'm
help.
I'm pretty
sorry.
sure every person on the planet agrees with me. So I mean, you're not like, no one
No,
values
sir.
a cow
We
as
don't
much
agree
as
with you.
a baby. Yeah, you
First
value
of
babies as
all-
much as cows.
First of all, cows have sentience just like babies. Cows have thoughts, they have feelings, they have family, they have friends, they have
Alright.
aspirations, they have enjoyments, they have experience. All the above are valuable things, sir. Do you agree?
I mean, at the end of the day, Mike, it's still just a cow. I mean, it's just a cow. Like, let's be
And
so
you're just
honest.
you're just a person.
It's just a cow.
Oh,
Let's be honest.
You're just a person. You have no value to me.
Okay, but I mean, I have.
Yeah, here's what you should do. Show me that you have value.
Oh, are we about to go into like this philosophical conversation of like where does value come from? I mean, I'm not.
Oh, you asked
I'm
for
not-
it.
I'm not here to-
You asked
I'm not
for
here
it.
to do
You
that.
asked for it. You asked for it.
I'm not here to do that.
Okay, so then if you can't even give yourself value, if you can't even show me how you have value, why should I believe anything you're saying? Why should I?
Because
Why should you be the judge for who has value, who doesn't? If you don't even know what value is.
the general populace commonly agrees on that humans have more values than cows.
In the 1800s, the general population agreed that black people had no value. Does that
Yeah,
make
where-
it correct?
where?
Does that make
Where?
the general population correct?
Where?
In
Where?
America. In America.
Yeah, not the world.
Oh, but it's still the general population of America.
Yeah, of
Okay,
America, not the world.
Okay. So just because most people agree with you doesn't make you correct.
I mean, do you agree that a cow has more value than a human? I mean, a baby has more value than a cow.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, there's nothing to debate about if we hold this
It's-
agreement.
No, there is something to debate because you said there is no value, but I'm simply suggesting that there is sufficient value in a cow to warrant not harming them.
I
And
just
that's
don't
the
care
problem.
about the cow. I mean, that's my stance.
I don't care about you, but I still don't murder you. It's not about how much I care, and more than what is sufficient, right? There is a threshold in which there is a certain amount of value that they have that says, okay, we shouldn't harm them if they have this much value, and I value you enough to not want to murder. Even though I value me way more than you, and I value my mom way more than you, and I value most people more than you, okay? It still doesn't give me the right to harm or kill you. That's why you can't justify harming animals, because there is value there. You just don't want to admit it.
There's no justification needed. I mean, they're animals.
So are you.
I mean, yeah, in a certain sense, but I mean, we don't, as a society, we don't value them. That's
We
That's
do
the
value
problem.
animals, sir.
But we don't.
You go
That's
on
why we eat
Facebook.
them.
Do you think we value dogs?
As pets.
Oh, so can't cows be pets too?
I mean, in China, in other places around the world, they don't value dogs. I mean,
Cows can be pets. See, you understand?
they're not though. They're not.
You understand? They are, and in fact, cows are very loving animals. They're actually smarter than many dogs. In fact, pigs are smarter than dogs and can be well trained, just like dogs can be. See, you're being speciesist. You're not being generous, and you're not actually being considerate in how you judge others.
Yeah, I don't think a cow
just say,
deserves
"Oh,
consideration.
these are just objects because they're cows, and that's how most people agree with. Therefore, it's okay to continue doing what we're doing. That's wrong to me, and that's what you can't justify doing continuously. You cannot continually justify this.
I mean, I'm going to continue to eat them. I mean, that's my justification.
And why? What justifies doing it if you don't have to and you know it causes them harm?
I don't know that. I don't know.
Oh, so you don't think animals suffer when they get slaughtered or stuffed in cages and they cry and they
I
get?
don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. I honestly don't really care either. I don't really care.
They do. You should know that they do. Cows can get depressed. Farmers that steal their babies from them. The mother cow can cry for days and weeks after the baby's gone. That's just the surface level. I mean, if you go into the factories, we see chickens out of anxiety and fear biting each other, such that farmers have to cut their beaks off to prevent them from getting infections and killing them. A lot of these chickens are so tightly squeezed in these cages they can't move, and they're so nutritionally deficient. Their bones break under their own weight, and they sit in these cages and die there. It's disgusting. Pigs
I mean,
scream in gas chambers. They don't want to go through that. They are being burned through the inside alive. That is abuse. That is harm.
yeah, I mean, I don't really care about any of that though. That's kind of what you don't seem to understand, Mike.
Okay, so if I had a dog in front of me and I started knifing it in its face, would that be okay to you?
Is it a pet or is it just random?
It's a stray dog. Would that be okay for me to knife it in its neck?
I mean, culturally and socially, it wouldn't be acceptable. Maybe in a different country, but not. Go do that in somewhere in Asia, not here.
In your eyes, would it be acceptable to knife a dog?
Yeah, I mean, given that it's not somebody's pet, I mean, I don't. It's just a dog at the end of the day. So
Yes or no, sir? Would it be
say yeah.
acceptable, yes or no, to knife a random dog?
Yeah,
Yes. You think it's okay to go up to a random stray dog and knife it in its neck and make it suffer?
if it's not a pet, yes, Mike.
Wow. Okay. This is insanity.
It's a dog.
So you think it's okay to abuse and harm dogs?
It's a dog.
Oh, okay. So you don't think dogs can feel pain or suffer?
I don't really care, Mike.
Okay.
Unless it's a pet.
Okay. How about this? A dog is not a pet. They're stray dogs. Is it okay to grape that dog?
I mean, I would say no.
Oh, all of a sudden it's wrong to abuse an animal now. How did that work? How funny is that?
It's just my intuition that's. I don't like
so
that.
it's intuitive that raping
Yeah.
an animal is wrong, but it's not intuitive that knifing it in its neck is not wrong. That's insanity. That's absurd.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's absurd. So
Sir, I think you need to do some serious reflection and learn who the animals are. They're not just objects.
they are.
They are someone.
They are.
Really? You think they are just objects?
Yeah, I don't care about them. Yeah, I don't.
Really? You think animals are just objects that have no sentience, no emotions, no feelings, no experience, no life? They're just objects. You really think this, sir? Do you really think this?
Yeah, I don't really care about.
You
I don't care about
when
them.
you see
No.
dogs crying. You don't care when you see an animal crying and suffering and whimpering.
Is it-
You don't care.
Is it a pet?
Why does it matter if it's a pet or not?
Because then that
Who
that
we
is.
designate as pets is completely arbitrary. That has no bearing on whether or not it's a sentient being.
It has relevance too, whether it has value to me.
Oh, so if tomorrow we don't designate dogs as pets anymore, and we say cows are pets, tomorrow it would be bad to harm cows, right?
Given that the cows are pets of people, then I would say yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If it's a
You
pet of
see how
somebody,
absurd-
then
you see how absurd this is. So if tomorrow we said that all the animals in the world are pets, you would go vegan.
I mean, if that was actually what happened, that's not like pragmatic. But I mean, if it actually happened, I would say yeah.
Wow. I mean, just 2 seconds ago, you thought it would be okay to knife a dog in the neck. Now,
If it
all of a
wasn't a
sudden,
pet. Wait, Mike,
all
don't.
of a
Let's
sudden,
not do that.
all of a sudden, I said a word, pet, and all of a sudden, that's wrong. And his morality comes rushing in. That's absurd. This is insanity to me, and that's why I'm vegan. Isn't it way more consistent and simple to just say, yeah, let's not harm them. Let them be, right? That's way more simple than making up all these excuses. Well, they're pets, they're not pets, they're this, they don't value this, I don't, it's not that much of a thing. All that can be erased and avoided by simply just being vegan. All right, one more guess because I can't do this much longer.
Hello?
Hi.
So, yeah, I don't think, well, I'm not like the last dude, but I don't think animals have the same value as human life.
I agree. And that has no bearing on whether or not you can be vegan. You can still be vegan and not value animals as much as humans. It's not about how much you value more than what is sufficient value. You understand?
Yes.
Do you think dogs have value?
Yeah.
Do you think we should abuse dogs?
No.
There you go. Okay. So they have sufficient value. Dogs, in your view, have sufficient value that says you shouldn't abuse them. Now, why do you think this is not the case for cows or pigs?
Well, I guess maybe because it's like different cultural points, different standpoints, like throughout human evolution.
Yeah, how we evolved is irrelevant to ethics today, right? We don't have to do what we evolved to do. That's an appeal to nature fallacy. We're talking about today where we have options to not consume animal products. Why do you think cows are not valuable at all, or they have such little value that you get to harm them? Why?
Well, being a vegan, you won't get as much like essential nutrients like B12, iron, or like fatty acids.
That's incorrect. So B12 is found in tempeh, tofu, nutritional yeast, and tons of huge amounts. Fortified foods, mushrooms, all kinds of B12 is found in plant foods. Iron is also found in greens, leafy vegetables, beans, nuts, and seeds. All have iron in sufficient quantities. And if you're scared, you can supplement as well. You can get every essential nutrient you need as a vegan in sufficient quantities to be healthy, if not healthier than their counterpart meat eaters.
Well, I don't know. I would say like the reason why because like as humans, we value our species way more than like other species.
I agree. I agree. We value ourselves more. Why? Because we're more intelligent. We have more capacity to do great things. We have a lot more power. We have a lot more going for us, potential in our potential. But that doesn't mean we get to harm others who don't have that potential, right? For example, a baby, way less valuable in terms of what it could do, because babies are just babies, right? However, that doesn't grant us the right to harm them, because they still have sufficient value to not want to harm them. The same applies to animals, in my view. The animals are not as valuable as us because they don't do as many great things as we can. That doesn't make them objects such that we get to kill them. Why? Because they're still sentient. They're still living. They're still experiencing. They still are social beings. They still loving beings. All these give them enough value to not want to harm them.
I agree, but like you have to admit, it's like almost impossible to like convince the whole world to like be vegan.
When did I say I could do that? That's a straw man of my entire position. I never said I can turn everybody in the world vegan. I'm asking you, sir, today. You're here with me. It's a one-on-one, not a 1v8 billion.
I see your point, but like it just like as humans, our physiology is different. Like meat is good for us. Same with vegan diets as well.
You think being vegan can be healthy, right?
Yes, Same with also
Oh, okay,
being.
great. So then it doesn't matter how healthy meat is. By the way, it's not eating meat raises risk of cancers and diseases. But even if it was healthy to eat meat, well, I'm sorry, sir, but you're still harming somebody who doesn't have to be harmed, right? That's why veganism is still better, because you can still be healthy and reducing harm. That's the point.
I guess that's true. I don't know. I guess that's what makes it so hard. But yeah, I mean, I see your point, but like, yeah, that's what's hard about it.
Okay, so what are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you still here?
Well, because like, I don't know, like a lot of your arguments are like how do you know what makes your moral right? Like, how do we know that your moral is just compared to
Not
other people's
saying,
morals?
I'm not. Well, that's a meta-ethical claim. I'm not saying that my morality is the only way or my morality is objectively correct. What I'm saying is, if you agree with my ethics, if you agree that we should not abuse animals, then you should be vegan. It doesn't matter if I'm correct objectively or subjectively. What matters is if you agree with me, then you agree with me. We shouldn't abuse animals, hence you should be vegan.
But I mean, do you not believe that eating animals can provide a benefit to us as not doing it?
The benefits are not great enough to warrant abusing and harming others. That's why I'm vegan. There's benefits to many things that are wrong, but the wrongness outweighs the benefits.
So what do you believe? What's your opinion on like Charles Darwin's ideology?
I don't care about Charles Darwin, sir. I don't care about that guy.
So you don't believe in like survival of the fittest?
I do, sir, but that has no bearing or relevance to veganism. Just because we survive doesn't mean that we have to consume meat. We can survive and we can still exist within the survival of the fittest and be vegan.
But why should we as humans subject ourselves to like becoming herbivores when we're omnivores?
So herbivores, omnivores, these are biological classifications that are subjectively designated. There is no physiological grounding for being an omnivore or herbivore. They're just definitions that we as people describe ourselves as. Hence, there's no reason why you couldn't be vegan. There's no physiological necessity that says you must consume meat. And being called herbivore or omnivore has no bearing on what you could eat. Especially as us humans, we have plenty of options.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's it. I mean, I guess I'll just look more into it. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, and that's literally the only point I'm trying to get across to you guys. I'm never going to turn you vegan in one day. I mean, it's possible, but probably going to be rare, right? The point here is to make people question what they're doing, to inspire them to learn. That's all. Learn about the animals. Learn about the world you live in. Learn about where your food comes from. Learn about, like that one guy, learn about the individual impacts you have on the agricultural world around us. Learn, educate yourself. That's the key to everything. And it makes for a better world for all of us. Isn't it better to learn more about people? That makes the world a better place.